What's up, everyone? Welcome to Midcurve. Today we have on a good friend of mine, and probably one of the funniest people in crypto. I think, I think back to us hanging out in Singapore. Actually, last time I was in Singapore and on that rooftop bar, and like how hard I laughed just hanging out with you.
Jesus.
Um, I always tell Laura about that. I'm like, you gotta meet Atala. He's the best. Like next time we go to Singapore. So she's coming to Singapore. Like side note, she's coming to Singapore when we go
Nice.
when we're there for Breakpoint. So let's all hang out.
Can't
But
wait to see you guys here for real though.
yeah, it's gonna be a blast. But that was all side note. Maybe give an introduction to yourself, what you do, and how long you've been in Solana. Because the way I met you was through Solana, like pretty early on, right?
Yeah, I think we hit you up to just uh yeah, little known
Tweet
fact.
stuff.
Little known fact, we have an influencer here in the house and it's not me. So previously back in the day, my man over here was the king of the option space in crypto, definitely on Solana. So I think we hit you up a long time ago just to like get your feedback slash maybe a baby shill. But I've been working at the Psyfi DAO, man, almost 2.5 years now, building on Solana since 2021. We've built a number of different products, some option infrastructure stuff, lending platforms. Um, and yeah, I had a whole lot of ups and downs along the way, as most people have in the space. But we're still here. We've still been building. And yeah, grateful to be still in Solana. Like, and we can get into it if you want, but like we don't necessarily need to retouch about what happened like last year around this time. But it was totally like 180 degrees different than where we are now, right?
Yeah. Have we known each other for 2.5 years? Has
I
it
think
been
so,
that long?
man. I think so. I'm in a new apartment, which I've been here like a year. I remember the first time I think I had a chat with you. I was definitely in my old apartment, so
Yeah, I
at
remember
least
that.
at least a year.
That that's actually kind of crazy that yeah, because we've been at two breakpoints together. So yeah, because we were at the Lisbon one, the second Lisbon one together.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
that's so crazy.
On
So yeah, like that's the other thing people probably don't know about me, but if you're on crypto Twitter, you've definitely read some of my tweets because I ghost wrote for like 20 different crypto Twitter accounts at one point.
let's
So
go.
let's go. Yeah. I'm behind a lot of Solana accounts, or I was at least.
He's the
Um
man behind the man, you know?
yeah, the man, yeah, exactly. Pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Um man, so okay, so I mean, I guess we just like we didn't really have a plan for this episode, but just to like kind of chat about like what's going on in Solana and like what you're seeing. Like, I mean, actually, like you've been in tech for a long time, right?
Indeed I have.
What
Yep.
what'd you do before Solana?
So I was working at a like Web2 company. It's kind of the Uber of Southeast Asia. I was running a small product team there, doing like point to point parcel deliveries, but mostly products. Before that, I had another startup in like health tech. I was also like running IoT startups like Middle East office. So yeah, that
So you
takes
have a
you
lot you have a
takes you
lot of experience.
back.
Yeah. The point is you have a lot of experience in tech and startups, right? So, like, where do you think? Because this is a question I was going to ask you anyway, just off air. But um, where do you think Solana is right now, and like, what do you think needs to happen for it to continue to grow? Because right now, like, I feel like we've kind of turned into this meme chain a little bit, with all these meme coins launching, and it's almost like the BSC of last cycle.
Oof,
Yeah,
tough.
I mean, I want to. I don't want to throw shade. Obviously, we're not. But it's like it's kind of it's similar to that sense, and like people like we just have all this meme stuff. So like from like a product perspective, what do you think needs to happen for Solana to continue to grow and evolve?
I mean, I think you have some like clear challenges on the infrastructure level. I think we've all seen that recently when the ore mining, I mean, turned on. We just kind of came into a halt. I think mining was taking up like 30-40% of all transactions on chain, and that was like just clogging everything up. And obviously, things like that need to be solved. But I think fundamentally, even if there is a ton of memes on chain, like on Solana, there's also a lot of other stuff that's building, that's live or about to be live. I mean, you have a ton of deep in stuff like Renderer, you have Helium. Those are both live. They're big, they're real products. And then you have a bunch of other stuff, like all this AI stuff, IONet's coming online. And like that is still happening because of the same infrastructure, right? That's the beauty of like having a global state machine. And I think as long as that stuff is still happening, even if we are the meme chain, it doesn't matter because those things are still coming to build on Solana because of like the infrastructure that exists here. Now they might not in the future if we still have like congestion issues a year from now, and like it's still battling with priority fees and fee markets, and who knows what else is going to happen. But I'm hopeful that that'll be solved maybe as soon as a couple weeks, or at least we're taking steps to solve it. But I think TBD, like we need to get some new releases out, and then needs to be stress tested again. Which engineering is a very iterative process, so probably find some more stuff that needs to be fixed. But the faster this iteration cycle happens, I think the better it is for Solana, and like the more of the edge that gives us against, um, other chains, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to be the number one kind of global state machine. And I think that's a unique position to be in than other chains like ETH anyway.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed. Great answer. Great answer.
Thanks,
What a pitch for
man.
Solana.
Foundation, please, like, where's somebody give me some grants here?
Yeah.
Oh, I got the shirt on too. I got the Hacker House shirt. See, I was just like, I was ready. I was on point today.
You're you're just like, yeah, that's amazing. The Solana King over here, just
Lined up.
shilling soul. All right, let's. I guess we'll talk about something a little more, less serious and more fun, which is meme coins themselves. Because you and I are both, I don't know, degenerates, but I would like to say like sophisticated degenerates, right?
Aficionados.
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 Yeah, I've had so many. Just for the viewers, I've had a lot of great calls with this guy. And some of the text messages I get back from you just like crack me up. Um, specifically about buying some meme coins. So, um, like a meme coin that we're both into, Bonk. What are you thinking? What are you thinking happens to Bonk?
I mean, I think we need to draw some triangles on charts and see where the wedge takes us. But I think Bonk is actually like funny. You start with Bonk, right? Because Bonk is like a meme coin that's not a meme coin, and I
Yeah,
think that's like been discussed probably on a number of different podcasts. But really, it's like a number of different products that are wrapped up in this like social meme coin. Like the meme coin was a Trojan horse to put like Bonk Bot, Bonk Swap, all the other Bonk stuff that they're building or planning to build under this roof, and like get the distribution and get the users, which they've done great and they do great memes. So
yeah,
like that was
yeah.
the shoehorn. I haven't seen another meme coin like that, to be honest. I don't know if you have. I'm sure there's some that exist, but I think that is like standing alone on the top of the hill in that special category of like Trojan horse meme coins.
Yeah. I think. Well, first of all, let's talk about um, BonkBot, right? Have you seen the numbers for BonkBot?
Oh yeah, I'm contributing to those numbers, man.
Yeah.
I'm in there. I'm helping fuel the fire.
You're in the arena.
I'm
You're
in there. I'm the man in the arena, right in the middle. But I'll tell you, like going back to what we were just talking about, right? When there was high, not to get back to that topic, but like when there's high congestion, you had to hit those contracts directly. Like you couldn't use a router like Juke because like that was just too many transactions lined up, and one would drop or the
yeah,
whole would fail. So like that was the best way actually to trade and snipe meme coins was hitting those contracts directly using a TG bot. So I think it was like a right place, right time, and like they blew up.
And that's why we're friends right there. That type of alpha is why we're homies. This
Absolutely.
is it's valuable stuff. It's valuable stuff. No, the I mean, okay, so like I agree with you with the bonk thesis, right? That it is the meme coin was the Trojan horse for a tech company. And like what they've done and like the loyalty they've had to Solana and et cetera is like is amazing. And I talked with Joe McCann the other day about this actually, and his whole thesis about culture and how Solana is basically like the culture, the internet culture chain. And it's kind of tapped into that, whether it was on purpose or on accident. We kind of find ourselves here at the intersection of tech and culture. And I think that's really important. I think that ETH, not to throw shade at ETH, but I think ETH kind of missed the boat, the culture boat a little bit. And now it's like, it's turned into a little bit more of a boomer chain. Um,
Oh man, I got started in ETH, but I think
I know.
the reality is most people are just priced out. So it's just a matter of
Yeah.
culture of things quick, and like a lot of it happens from people that don't have the wealth. Like so, you need a cheap, fast chain to iterate on culture and change rapidly, and that can only happen on Sol. Maybe on Sui in the future or Aptos, but right now it's happening on Sol, right?
That's that's 100% right. And like I think when I first so I started on ETH too. So yeah, I started on Bitcoin in 2013. So like
Let's
I mean
go.
I was yeah, I remember trading on Bitfinex, like those old coins like Neo and stuff stuff like that. But
Classics.
the classics. Yeah, I've been around. We've been around the block, so I can call myself a boomer in the space. But I think my thesis around Solana when I first heard about it, like 2019, was it's cheap. That was like the main thing. It's like it's cheap and it's fun and it's fast. And like the thing that I hated about ETH was one getting failed transactions that were like a couple $100 and just like seeing that evaporate. And then two, like having to wait. I hated having to wait for transactions to land or whatever. So like Solana just made sense to me because of what you just explained, which is like culture comes from people who generally don't hold the wealth, but they just do they just do cool stuff.
Yeah.
And Solana was a place to do that and a place to build it, and it still is. So yeah, for me, it's like, yeah, this is like the chain, kind of the chain of the people. And that's why I like immediately kind of gravitated towards Solana when it launched. But yeah, hopefully we can continue.
Remember what people used to say about Solana. Solana is for the poors. That was
Yeah.
like common
Yeah.
trope against Solana when I was first building. Everyone would say, "Oh, because we would do these. There's these NFT mints for like one soul, which was like
Yep.
$100, and maybe even a half a soul, and then like ETH would be point, I don't know, 0.008 ETH or 0.08 ETH, which is like I don't know at that point much more than $50, like $300 or
Yeah.
something." And so we were getting shit on. Happens that was a competitive advantage after all. So
It most certainly was. I remember my ETH friends, and still to this day, they still make fun of like the volume, the like, oh, these transactions are going through for like $10, $20, $30 or whatever. But I'm thinking to myself, like, isn't that what you want? You want like millions of people using this thing continuously. And that just shows that like, actual people are using it, not just a few whales, right? And I think that there's like this network effect when you get all these people using it and you get all this volume from like the smaller guys, bigger guys eventually come in, right? So I don't know. I see that as a competitive advantage, like you said.
yeah, and I think like you're you're seeing some interesting differences in like the new meme coins of Bitcoin and what you're seeing on Solana. And I think like you had mentioned that speed, like there's actually some friction to trade runes on Bitcoin. And I think
Yeah.
that actually is it makes it a little harder for true price discovery to happen. So you can have things that are of higher value, similar to how NFTs were back in the day, because to sell an NFT was tough, right? It was very liquid. So like you would have these like price dislocations and the
Yeah.
market wasn't truly liquid. So yeah, it's just interesting to see like Solana. All the meme coins are like you're getting rugged in 30 seconds sometimes. you get an in and out, and everything's going super fast and super liquid when the chain's working. Obviously, when there's congestion, it's tough to do much. But in Bitcoin, it's like a whole different ballgame. But you're seeing some of those differences in mechanics, like between Bitcoin and Solana, which is that's super interesting for me.
So let's back up really quick because that's fascinating. What maybe you just describe what runes are.
Oh, bro! I mean, who knows what runes are? I think runes is like a new protocol, and I'm not going to try to go into much because I honestly have no idea. Runes is a
Yeah,
new protocol that was launched on the Bitcoin blockchain. It uses like the UTXO to actually inscribe like the coin on the chain. So
yeah,
basically, whereas ordinals were you were kind of trading NFTs, that they weren't fungible tokens that you can actually trade. Runes, they've kind of hacked UTXO to have really fungible tokens on the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, like if you're going to ask me how to mine these things, how to pre-mine those rune stones that then turned into runes, like man, that's above my pay grade. I only know how to ape at the user level, but there's still like a lot of friction to even go there, right? Even to like get in the Bitcoin ecosystem, play around with runes is like going into the
yeah.
Cosmos ecosystem. A little sketchier.
There is. I was digging around in it a little bit and found some. I was figuring some stuff out the other day, but like, do you think because I mean, you kind of mentioned this, there is some friction to trading these things or even figuring it out. Even for me, like trying to dig through how it all actually works. It's a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole, I think, for like the average user. And then on top of that, you have like the fees are. It seems like the fees are
Man,
they're astronomical.
it's crazy.
So so do you think this actually takes off on Bitcoin, or do you think Bitcoin's more of a chain for just like high-end art? 'Cause that's how I kind of see it. Like if you want like high-end, art, a little bit more high-end asset, then that should be on Bitcoin, right? But like the shit coining should maybe stay on Solana or somewhere else.
I I think the tooling definitely isn't up to par for your average user. Also, the fees will never probably be up to par for the average user. Also, there's weird things that can happen, like you can get front run and like your transaction can get dropped if you're making like a profitable trade. And there's a lot more, let's just, for lack of a better word, say fuckery that can happen on Bitcoin rather than on Solana. Although you can get front run pretty easily on Sol too, but not for like $5,
Yeah.
and the transaction costs are much less. But I don't know because I think Bitcoin. What's interesting, like you had said, is there's also this thing of like provenance on
Mm,
Bitcoin. Like I remember people were paying to get their transactions onto certain blocks, like the halving block. I think there was someone paid like 600 grand to the miner to get their like 50 cent transaction or $5 transaction. I can't remember. Put on that block because like that's some provenance for them to that maybe they can leverage in the future. And runes have some of that too, right? The
mm,
first 600 whatever runes that were in that halving block are like the first runes, and they have like that provenance. That's something that really exists on Solana, right? So maybe it can be the collector's chain a little bit, higher tickets like the Sotheby's of meme coins potentially. I can see that. I
yeah.
mean, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think the people's coins will still probably be on Sol to trade, especially when
Yes.
it's quicker, right?
Yep. The people's chain. I like that.
Yep,
You're the proletariat.
that's right.
Um,
The people.
so what do you think, what do you think's next for in Solana as far as like meme coins go? Are you seeing anything interesting or
Yeah.
actually it doesn't have to be meme coins, anything.
So I mean, like, I think there's just some interesting meme coins I've seen that I'm thinking of like different classes of meme coins now, right?
Yeah.
Like you have your like Gen 1, I would say, like animal, dog, cat. There's a lot of those. Um, there's Cabal coins, stuff that will launch at like 50M. FDV and go straight up. And that's not like organic. Some of those dog coins can be in either category, right? Like Whiff, I think, was super organic. Some dude made it, rugged, and then it was a community takeover and kind of grew from there. We're seeing like event specific meme coins. I was thinking about this today. Like we have Bowden and Shrimp, right? And
Mhm.
like these things are okay. They're not explicitly calling out that they're for the election, but they're definitely going to be traded up to election day, and depending on the winner, that'll have like a an impact on the coins, right? So it's kind of like a prediction market in some sense. That's much more liquid to trade and has memes and stuff, and maybe just a little bit more fun. So you have those. You have regional specific stuff like Costco, the hot dog, right? I mean, most people in Asia are going to be like, "What 150? What the fuck? What are you talking about? Doesn't make any sense, right?" But for someone in the states, I don't know where else Costco is that sells hot dogs, but like maybe Canada or something. That makes a lot of sense. They're like, "Oh, this is dope." So you have regional specific. So there's Maltai, Chinese, but I think it's more for Western people to think they're front running Chinese people. But like I'm sensing you're going to get some regional specific stuff as well. So it's just interesting to see how the meme coins are starting to become differentiated into these like different classes too. There was like some racist meme coins for a bit, and there's like these fads that come really quick and they'll die down as well. Seems like there's cats are now in flavor. There's a bunch of cat stuff. So that's ever evolving. It's pretty interesting to see. I think the next interesting stuff is just there's just so much infrastructure being built up to trade meme coins because the amount of volumes they drive is actually like really crazy. That's like the
Mhm.
bulk of volume actually of trading activity I would wager on Solana is coming from meme coins. I think the most interesting stuff there is like the bots. The bots have had huge success, right? They're driving a ton of revenue. You have things like Pumped Off Fun, which are like meme coin launchers. Those are really cool. Although that site is like, I guess I'm too much of a boomer for the website visually, but I mean, it's working well. Like people love using it. So you're having meme coin launchers, and you're having now like meme coin discovery as well. I think there's a couple of teams working on that. Photon is like kind of like that. It's like a bot on a screen. Uh, yeah, and that's like meme coins. There's a bunch of stuff happening in meme coins, man. Like crazy. And in the rest of Solana, I mean, look at the Coliseum submissions, man. It's like, I mean, Deepin, AI, and restaking. It's the three things you'll see like 100 times, hundreds and hundreds of times. And I think there's a lot of that stuff that's coming online too that we just haven't seen yet, but will really start to come probably like in 6 months to a year.
Hmm. So what do you are you holding any AI or DPIN bags?
Uh, am I? I have some helium, I guess. Yeah, that's it. AI
Okay.
is it's too big brain for me, man. It's too
Yeah.
big. But I think IONet's interesting. I think
Which one?
IONet, it's like a decentralized GPUs. So people mine GPUs and then they sell that commute. And from what I've heard their founders say, that they're actually like already making revenue when the demand for GPUs by like traditional startups in Silicon Valley and stuff is so great that like this thing is profitable day one, right? So it's not like some DeepIn project that is looking for buyers, but they have this like rich data set, whatever. This is actually ready to go. People are buying it, people are using it, and as long as that network is growing, then it's actually can create like a positive feedback loop with the token and stuff. So I mean, I'm not holding my breath, but like, let's see when it launches. I think it's going to launch this. It might launch this month, end of this month, and yeah, let's see what happens when it goes live. Like, hopefully, there's some real demand there, and that would be really interesting. And it's happening all in Solana, which is exciting.
That's cool. That's cool. So what other bags are you holding right now that you're what other meme coin bags?
Oh man, I got Maltai. I got a nice little big bag for me anyway.
Did
Maltai.
you did you get into that early?
I got into that the first day it was out. Yeah, I got into that the first day.
Why'd
Uh,
you why'd you choose that?
Honestly, a buddy hit me up. He's like, he got into it like first hour, and
That's how
then
it always happens.
he's like, "Hey, yeah, so you got to get on this." I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever." Didn't even know what it was, and then aped it. And then once you ape, you start to get interested in what you just spent some money for, and
Yeah,
then that makes you dig into the community, right? Makes you get
yeah,
involved, see what's going on. And I think as I've seen the memes and actually have met some of the like contributors at Mount Tide events and stuff, that actually gave me like more confidence as well. Like I think it's a pretty interesting project. There's some pretty interesting people that are helping. Like you have Bobby and you have EC if you guys are on the Twitter. Um, and yeah, it has a good meta, man. Has a good meta.
yeah. Are they doing anything? Do they have anything in the works other than just meme coin, or is it just meme coin and community?
I don't know, man. I think it's just a pure play
Yeah.
standard meme coin. It's your standard shitter with a strong team behind it. Just the way God intended.
That's funny. Um, all right. Do you yeah, you have any other topics you want to cover or anything else you want to tell the people of Solana?
Man, honestly, like alpha is not my strong point. Like I just
Yeah.
soak the alpha up from the ether from what's out there. Um, but if you guys have any alpha, please DM me on Twitter so I could get that alpha and maybe on another podcast I can
It's
regurgitate
so
it.
funny. So guests come on podcasts to like give alpha, give value, show their worth. Talk comes on the podcast and says, "If you guys have alpha, give it
Send
to me.
send
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 it, send it over.
DMs open for alpha.
You, yeah, you plebs, please just let me
I'm out here farming alpha, man. Come on.
out." Yeah, that's so funny. All right, yeah, we can keep this one short, neat. We can get some clips out of this. We'll just wrap it
Word.
up.